All right, gentlemen, we are talking about David smack dab in the middle of Advent. This is the perfect time for this family film. Uh, Brandon and Brian, you guys got to teach me how to pronounce your surnames properly.
I'll go first. My name is Brandon Engman.
Engman. Okay, thank you. And Brian?
Sono Brian Stivale.
Oh, now we're going to go full Italian on this with an
Well,
Irish
I mean,
person.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Well, Samuel and young David, congratulations on
Thank
this
you.
musical animated feature. It's been a lot of fun. It's absolutely gorgeous. The soundtrack is definitely going to resonate with quite a few people. When you get a project like this, that you have to find the balance in giving the youthful aspect of it without all the stuff that the older King David goes through that is not child appropriate, shall we say, the
Yeah.
demographic
That's
of
valid.
this crowd
That's valid.
or for this audience. Uh, but you still have this responsibility of this 4,000-year-old tale that's been so beloved by three Abrahamic religions in
Yes.
finding this balance of modernity with respecting the ancient.
Mm.
Yeah. It's a big task, a big responsibility. When I first, was cast as young David, adult David is the wonderful Phil Wickham. But yeah, when I found out I got the part, there was definitely some anxiety because David is such a hero to so many people around the world and a hero to mine. At first I read a lot of the Old Testament and everything that David was in, the Psalms, and it's a lot though. It's a lot of text, and it wasn't quite inspiring me as much as I thought it would. So I just tried to simplify it. And to me, David was always true to himself, and he knew he was never alone. He had God with him. I just tried to keep that in my in my head the whole time, and know that I can bring part of myself to David, the parts that made sense, but also, I do have a huge responsibility in being the voice of him, but there's so many people that are bringing him to life, the animators, the director, the writers, the music. It's a true group effort, so I think that helped me, relax a bit more with
Right.
the role. Yeah.
There's no musical breaks till you get to Psalms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And then playing Prophet Samuel on top of this and renouncing the anointed king to bring forth a new one. That's got to be some pressure. Just thinking about it and the fact that they have committed treason, not only against
Yeah,
an anointed king of
politically.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, politically, covenantally, though, obviously, honoring the orders of God take a precedence over the legality of the land. But I think the aspects of that part of the story in taking on Samuel were really heartfelt because I know the Old Testament, I know the Torah, I know what this means, and Israel was never meant to have a human king. God was meant to be their king directly. They were fearful, they were typical, they were human. They asked for one. He gave them what they wanted in Saul, and Saul failed through vanity because he did the human thing. And what I love about this story is that you do see Samuel grieved, and David grieved over Saul's fall from grace, over his having the kingdom ripped from him. Samuel is grieved over this, but he's more so grieved because of his heart for God over the lack of obedience. To obey is better than sacrifice, and so that part of the role was really interesting and fun to approach. We have an excellent Saul in Adam Golden, and just incredible, just heart given to the role as well. So you get to see that in our scene. It's a flashback that takes on such incredible animation and tone, and it just feels like you're there in the midst of this divinely heavy moment. So that really was tremendous. It was awesome.
The responsibility is there, but not only that, and feeling the the gravity of this and
Yeah.
their own grieving. You're in the booth and you're recording this project, and animation isn't done in 24 hours.
No.
This is a very long process.
Many years.
Yeah.
When you come back and revisit it once the final product is done, there's been enough time removed from the recording process of your portion to now sit back and become an audience member.
Exactly.
What's it like to now be the audience member versus the performer while you're in the booth to now?
That's a great question. I gotta say, it does take a couple watches though. My first watch, I was still so in my head and, thinking, oh, they went with that line, they did that.
That's funny.
Oh, they did that scene instead of that scene. The first watch for me was not quite enjoyable because I was still, looking at the process. But last night we had the premiere, and I just told myself, let's just sit back and enjoy it. And it was incredible. I got lost in it. What's fun for me is, I do half of the film, and then Phil Wickham does an incredible job with the other half.
Yeah.
So I almost get, in the second half, I get to sit back and relax and just
Right.
enjoy him. So that was
Same,
fun. Yeah.
same. I'm dead. So at that point in the story, it is really fun to
Yeah.
watch it take on. But there's definitely so much to that experience. Yeah.
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 But first of all, Brian, that's a spoiler. I mean, we've had 4,000 years to find this out.
No,
But
all of this, First Samuel, Second Samuel, you could call it all a spoiler, but the reality is, come on, people, it's in the Bible.
right. There's a
Like
reason why there's
David
no third
doesn't
Samuel.
beat Goliath. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There was no trio. There was a sequel. That was it.
Yeah. Well, we do have to have fun because it is a family film. There are the aspects,
Yeah.
the way the death of Goliath is handled is beautifully done. It's
Poignant.
just
Yeah.
enough to get the message across without, the actual beheading and carrying his head into the tent.
Which
But-
David did for a while.
Right.
It's like a souvenir he carried
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
That's what happens when you're 15 and you got to prove your older brothers
Right.
that I'm better than you. You still got a problem? Here we go. We got evidence. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. With the reaction that we're getting, like, I love the animation style. It's absolutely gorgeous, especially the CG behind it. There has to be elements of your own personality that's been incorporated into the animation because they watch you in the booth and they record you and there's sketches going on. Is there ever a moment where you're sitting there and either your spouse or your sibling or your parent is just nudging you and you're like, yep, that's your twitch. Yep, that you make that facial expression all the time. Oh yeah, you do those hand gestures that played into the animation portion.
I'll have to ask. I'll have to ask my family. They just saw it for the first time yesterday.
Right.
Obviously, the looks. I was kind of a part of this project since like 2017.
Yeah.
So, David, young David, was slightly, designed after me. So, my family loves to point those out. But yeah, I don't know. What about you?
For me, okay, so my kids have both seen it now. One at the Academy screening, and then my son Gabriel was with us for the premiere here. And they both said individually, Dad, when you see Samuel's hands, it's your hands. They they didn't, but like apparently I have flat thumbs and big bony long fingers with lots of gray hair on them, and I wear a ring in that hand, and they're like, they captured your hands. And I said, I didn't have a hand session with these guys, but I took it. I received it as a fullness of the character.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
When audiences, whether from a secular perspective or a religious one, kick back and now go to the theater to watch this because they do want to be entertained, and it's not
Sure.
just for a religious audience, and it's
Yeah.
not a proselytizing project. It is a film that's dedicated to the world. What would you like both audiences to receive from this?
Yeah, I think what you said was true. I mean, I can't speak for Phil and Brent, the directors, but I do know that first off, they just wanted to have a film that people could enjoy, anyone, people of
Entertaining,
faith,
yeah.
entertain. And then after that, hopefully it inspires people to be, strong and courageous, fight their demons, fight their Goliaths, and be brave, and not be afraid to go out there and do what they know they can do. Yeah.
Yeah, the message of the underdog is one that rings throughout the ages, and the story of David and Goliath, because it doesn't stop there, it as you know, it envelopes up into so many other areas of his life that also teach just as big of a metaphor and just as big of a history for people to understand that they're not alone, that if they're shepherded by God, that if they're truly having a heart after God and trusting Him in all things, that religion aside, that can set you on the right path. You may make mistakes, you may fall down, but you will conquer the Goliaths in your life, and you will overcome your own mistakes.
Yeah. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Please let us
Thank
know where
you.
we can find you on social media to connect with you to keep the conversation going, and about the theatrical release of the film.
Sure.
Yes, theatrical release is December 19th in most places, but around the world it's slowly coming out, so keep an eye out for that. And social media is just at Brandon Engman.
That's right, and it's at Brian Stivale for all my social media as well. But I would also say that as we're having this worldwide release, we're doing a pay it forward campaign as well, because we want to see over 1 million kids get to see this movie for free. I'd love to see 100 million kids get to see this movie for free around the world. So if they go to the Angel app, they can check that out. It's an opportunity to give kids who don't have that financial or that opportunity to go to the movies to get there, to see this film, and to really get an inspiration over the holidays.
I love it. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Happy holidays to you and to everyone
Thank you.
that's a part of this. The 2 hours fly by like it's 45 minutes. So
Yeah.
that's something you want in a film.